Everybody, it's Biggie. Welcome to Biggie's Auto. So today, again, we got another paint project where I screwed up, and I'll jump right into here. What we have here is we have the roof panel from the C4. See, this is all. I have this all ripped up, and you say, "What the heck are you doing?" Well, here's the problem. Every time, this is about the fourth time I'm doing this, I got a bubble like in here. Now I don't know if you can see how it's like a wrinkle there. Okay, so apparently my theory was right in that whatever I had, this resin I mixed didn't mix right, or body putty something, so it never cured. So what ended up happening was because it was wet, every time the sun beat down on this, it created a gas and pulled the bubble. Now, which made all of this loose. Okay, it made it loose. This is the back side of what I pried up, which you can see matches here. And I'm thinking also the body filler I put too much on. So what I want to do, or the plan is, sand this all down to where it's all like this. Okay, and then we're just gonna see, using minimal filler. We have to use special, and I didn't know about this either. You have to use special Corvette body panel. I think it's adhesive and filler. It's like some special crap just for Corvette crap, whatever. But that's what I have to use. So we're gonna sand this all down, and I'm gonna show you the steps. But I wanted to show you as to why I ripped it apart, was kept getting the bubble, and here's the reason why. Because this was never, I don't know if I didn't mix it right, if the chemical reaction didn't happen right, but you can see every time the sun hit that was gassing off, and it popped all this loose, as you can see by there. So this crack here is fixed, which is nice, but now I have all this. So this is going to be one of those where we try and do as little as possible. I'm going to try sanding it and then maybe skim coat it if I can't get it perfectly smooth. So I'm going to take you guys along for the ride here. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to start out with 100 grit sandpaper on the palm sander and try and get this stripped down. Let's see what we're up against. All right guys, so after about 3 hours of sanding, this is what we got. We got it down to the original surface. I didn't realize there was two things of paint and primer on here, so I stripped it all the way down to here. There were some marks here, so I just kind of skimmed this real rough. I'm going to sand this down with 220. It hit the sides here as well. We took a lot of stuff off of here. A lot of body work that wasn't needed. Basically, I did the skim coat because there's like divots that are in, so I just skim coat the whole thing. When that sets up, I'm going to sand it with 220 and see how smooth we can get if I need to recoat. But yeah, there was a lot of gummy stuff. There was some primer that was underneath there that as soon as it got heat, it got gummy. So I'm attributing that primer as to being the issue for the bubbling issue I was having. So with that all removed now, and we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna get this thing as perfect as we can, and then once we get that, we'll be able to put some primer down. All right guys, so here we got this is where we're at. So I went ahead and put the filler in, and I used the 220, went over it, feathered it all out, made sure everything's nice and smooth. I was looking at everything while I'm sanding it, so everything's light. So we're gonna go ahead, I haven't masked up, I'm gonna wipe this down one last time, and I'm gonna go ahead and primer it, and we're gonna see how this all turns out after we put one or two coats of primer on. We'll come back, hopefully have it in primer, and then depending on what the day looks like, I might try and see if I can paint it and clear it today, although maybe not. I think I'm running out of daylight, but we'll see what happens. All right guys, Biggie. So after this is about the second, I don't even know what coat of primer, because I found a lot of stuff, like little stuff, imperfections. I cleaned up this front edge. I had to go through that. There were some issues up in here I had to go back and touch up, and back here and touch up. But there's about, I would say all in all, there's about 2 coats of primer on this roof. To me, if you look at it, I'm trying to get a shot here, it looks pretty decent. I think what I might do is I might hit it with 400, wet sand it with 400, and then once I do that, I think what I'm going to do, let it dry, and then I think once we do that, it's going to be time to mix up some black paint and possibly spray it. So we'll see what happens. Stay tuned. All right, guys. After a lot of prep on the primer to make sure everything's as smooth as we can get it, we have our gun set up, the air compressor's ready to go, so here we go. Let's see if we can get some base on here. I'm going to spray everything out with this air so we don't get any water or anything. And I have an issue with that one. Here we go. Again, looking at about 75% overlap. Making sure we get full coverage. Watch what your gun's doing, making sure it's getting magma. You don't want to go too slow as you get runs, but you want to make sure you get the full coverage, enough material down. Maybe you can go around with the reverse pressure being, but it wouldn't hurt either at this point. Go over that as well, just to make sure. Alright, so this is a pretty small deal. So that's our first coat. So again, I'm using medium reducer on this, and so we're going to give this a good 10 minutes to set up, and we'll be back to put the second coat on. Alright guys, so we had to put 2 extra coats of black on because I had to wet sand it. There was some roughness I didn't like, so I wet sanded it. 2 more coats of black we put on. Now we're ready for the clear. Alright, so we're going to go ahead, we're going to let that set up, and we're going to do another coat then. Alright guys, I'm going to wrap this up here. So I'm running out of battery thing, looks like my camera's, but yeah, there's the finished roof for you. So hopefully with removing that primer that was a problem before, that'll make it that it doesn't bubble. But we get 2 coats of primer, of clear. We had 4 coats of black because we had to sand that. So but yeah, so I'm gonna let that set up and we'll install it on the car and see how it looks all together. So anyway, that's it for now. Watch out for each other, take care of each other. See you next time right here on Big E's. Bye for now.